Namaste, Yellargu Guru Purnimada Hardika Shubhashyagalu. On this day, I would like to talk to you all about how a guru played an important role in ancient times and even today. In the olden days, the things that we read today as textbooks were called as Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, or Shastras. What is a Veda? Veda is an oral form of knowledge. It didn't have a boundary, it did not have a textbook, it was a vibe. You know how we call as positive vibe, negative vibes. It was a vibe, a positive vibe. That people like Rishis, Munis would absorb that vibe and understand something way beyond that we can imagine. That is Veda, which is written today in scriptures that we read and which is available. What is Upanishads? Upanishads is a written document which is available even today, but these were a knowledge that was spread to a student while having him sitting next to the guru. Next, coming to Puranas. What is Purana? Purana, if we think about the word Purana, when we hear it, we think about olden days. Purana, like that, right? But Puranas are nothing but autobiographies or biographies of lords, for example, Skanda Purana, Shiva Purana. All these are Puranas which depict what happened in their lives. Today we read the same about good leaders or great leaders. It's the same thing that they used to do that day. In ancient times, our leaders were gods. Worshipping them would give that satisfaction to people, and they wanted to know more. And that is why they would go in search of a guru to learn more, to find a ray of hope, to acquire more knowledge. Coming to Shastras. Shastras is the field of occupation that we have today. For example, Dharma Shastra, that is law, Vastu Shastra, that is architecture, Shilpi Shastra, that is sculptures, and so on. I'm a BCom student, so according to the Shastra, I am studying Artha Shastra, that is economics. Similarly, all of your careers would also be based on one or the other Shastra. But in the olden days, they would learn all the Shastras together. So imagining to learn all the Shastras together is a very difficult task. Politics, law, medicine, sculpture, architecture is a lot of things that we cannot observe. So they would find a guru. While approaching him, he would teach them everything, but they had a policy. What is that policy? The Shishya should be so perfect, so pure to be precise, that he should stay with the guru, which is called as Gurukula system. Why is it Gurukula system? Why was it needed? Was it needed because the Shishya had a lot of desires, or was it needed because the Shishya was not able to concentrate? No. It was because at that time, education was a continuous process which happened 24/7. There was no break. There was no lunch break, short break for them not to learn. It was a continuous process. Did they have periods like, okay, I'm learning Niti Shastra, that is politics, I'm going to learn Jiva Shastra, that is biology? No. It was a continuous process. The guru would teach them how to plant a sapling, and that becomes a herb, how to use that herb to make it a paste, which is a medicine, and for this, which disease can we use this medicine to cure that. So you're learning everything there. There was a gradual process throughout the day. Why was that needed? Because he wanted to make his students an all-rounder, complete person, completely filled with knowledge. And that is what used to happen. Would everybody become a guru after learning from their gurus? No. Some would become scholars, some would become artists, and out of those 10 students, one of them would become a guru, who's going to spread his knowledge to everybody, unbiased. Today, even we have gurus, we have teachers. Are they our mentors? Yes, because they teach us without having any objective of self-needs. When can a teacher become a mentor? A teacher becomes a mentor when they are going to push you to your extent to until you reach your efficiency without having any expectation of a return from them. They're going to invest in you, but they're not going to expect a return. And that is when a teacher becomes a mentor. In today's life, we try to find motivation through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, etc. by seeing others doing great things, or even YouTube motivational videos. But a mentor is a person who's going to keep pushing you until you reach your destination. So, today I'm going to thank all the mentors, all the gurus, all the teachers for guiding us and pushing us until where we are today, in the hope of reaching our destination very, very soon. So, to everybody, to all of you who have found your mentors, who have a guru, please go and wish them and thank them for being so selfless and helping us reach our destination. Thank you.